last night, yesterday evening, approximately 20 to 6, 5:40 p.m. last night, we got a 911 call for shots fired in the area behind us, which is 322 Jones Road. Witnesses described observing a male shooting a female victim. From there, the police units responded, and once on scene, they were quickly able to ascertain that there were two victims of homicide. They were without vitals and deceased on scene. From there, information was that the suspect was still in the residence and had firearms registered to himself in that home. So the home was then contained with the assistance of our emergency response unit, which is our tactical team, as well as various other police officers of the service. Attempts were made to negotiate, and negotiators were called in and did make contact with the suspect throughout last night. Ultimately, there was then an interaction between the suspect and our officers, and the SIU has been notified. I have spoken to the SIU, and they've agreed to allow me to tell you that our suspect in this case is deceased. He's 57 years old. The victim's 27-year-old female and a 28-year-old male of Hamilton. Our information was that this was a landlord-tenant dispute where the 57-year-old male was the landlord, and the younger, the 27, 28-year-old male and female were the tenants. And there was a disagreement in relation to the condition of the home. And as a result of that disagreement, our victims were murdered. And that's what I'm here to investigate. So we're Hamilton Police. We're continuing to investigate the double homicide. The SIU are leading this investigation at this time as they continue to investigate the interaction between our officers and the suspect.
And so you say the landlord and tenants, did they all live in the same domicile?
They did. So the landlord lived upstairs, the tenants lived in the basement.
As far as what kind of led to the actual conversation or the actual altercation?
No, so that's something that we're still continuing to investigate. Like I said, I understand that this was a dispute regarding the condition of the home. That's something we'll continue to look into, obviously, to determine what the motive of this is. None of these individuals involved in this incident have any involvement with the Hamilton Police. Our victims are, one is an educational assistant with the Brent County Catholic School Board, and the male is an electrician in the city. Hardworking people. The suspect has no previous contact with Hamilton Police, certainly nothing to give us cause for concern for any of an incident like this. And there were several firearms registered to this residence, both handguns and long arms.
Oh, you said they were registered, so obviously nothing
Correct.
Really unusual
at this
with that,
point,
okay.
it's my understanding that the firearms, there are firearms registered. As far as what firearm was utilized, that's something the SIU will lead the way in at this point.
Yeah.
And I won't be able to comment any further on that part.
As far as the landlord who owned the place, 57, are names being released or anything anytime soon?
No.
Or?
So again, the male suspect would be you'd have to contact the SIU for that. As far as the victims in this case, we've been in contact with their families. They're devastated naturally.
Of course.
This is hard for them to digest, and until I get further direction from them, I won't be releasing their names at this time.
As far as this 57-year-old, did he if he had a job, did he work, or basically was he semi-retired, or just a professional landlord?
Again, any questions regarding the male suspect should be directed to the SIU.
Yeah. Any other? So what's next for you guys as far as investigation?
Yeah, we're going to spend today. Our forensics are here working in conjunction with the SIU. Again, the SIU is the lead agency at this point in time, but we are working a parallel investigation where we are independently investigating the homicide of the two victims. And so we will be here collecting evidence outside and then eventually making our way into the house. But this will be a considerable job. And we'll be here for certainly the majority of today, if not into tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're talking about the whole area's gonna be kind of cordoned off just as much as for at least for the day.
Yes.